Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. This is going to be a reading on Donald Trump's property in Palm Beach, Florida, the Mar-a-Lago property. About a week after the incident, the Secret Service came in and closed the road leading up. South Ocean Boulevard is the name of the road, running along Mar-a-Lago. Reason for doing that, obviously, is to increase security. Since there was one attempt made, there would potentially be more attempts made. So security was increased around the Trump properties, not only Mar-a-Lago but also Bedminster. Now, South Ocean Boulevard is closed indefinitely. The Secret Service doesn't know how long they're going to close it, but it's going to be at least until the election. Could be after the election too. Now, amid that road closure, they also added checkpoints, and Mar-a-Lago has stayed open for business. And, hundreds of people are going to Mar-a-Lago for events. This caused the mayor some annoyance because, on the one hand, you're closing down one of the main arteries in town, putting up checkpoints to add security and protection, yet you're still allowing people to go to Mar-a-Lago, which is the antithesis of security and protection. And in a council meeting, they basically said, quote, "You can't have it both ways, boys and girls. Either the club's open or it isn't." This is the mayor is, what's her name here? It's Danielle Moore. So she's having the council look at options, including closing Mar-a-Lago until the road is now open. You can imagine that Trump wouldn't be real happy about that. They were talking about bottlenecks. Some residents were saying a delivery that would take 10 minutes now takes an hour to do because of the diverted traffic. So I want to look to see, is there anything going to happen out of this? Obviously the Secret Service isn't going to say, "Oh, okay, we're going to open up the road around Mar-a-Lago." That's not going to happen. It just plain isn't going to happen. So will the town of Palm Beach, Florida, instead actually close the road around Mar-a-Lago? Let's look at the energy around this, okay? This will be for entertainment purposes only. Deck is upside down. Foundation of the reading is the Page of Cups. Honestly, I think it's just kind of wishful thinking on their part. It sounds good. They're frustrated. They're frustrated because things don't make sense to them and they're being inconvenienced by it. Crossed with the High Priestess. Literally the choice is keeping a former president of the United States who's currently running for president of the United States protected versus the convenience of the people in town. So a lot of people are being inconvenienced. Now, where the town could go with things is that Trump is not supposed to be living in Mar-a-Lago. It's a country club. You're not supposed to have a residence in there. So maybe there's something they can do about that. That might be the avenue they have to pursue. Underneath it all is the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, they think it's a screwy situation. They're trying to think their way out of it, so they're coming up with suggestions on how to approach this problem. In the past, the Empress, everything was fine. Donald Trump owns the estate, and lots of people come down there, and people were visiting Palm Beach because of Donald Trump being down there. Lots of money was being made. Everybody was being taken care of when he was president of the United States, even afterwards. Current situation, though, is the Queen of Pentacles. Is the money that he brought in worth the inconvenience that now accompanies him? That's maybe where this High Priestess comes in. High Priestess it's divine feminine wisdom, but you can also view it as playing the tape all the way through. And I would be surprised if the Seven of Cups doesn't show up in here, because you have to take the good with the bad on this one. And it's not very practical when it takes an hour to make a delivery, but at the same time, this is a moneymaker for the city. Overarching energy is the Four of Wands. Okay, so now we're talking about keeping it open or keeping it closed. Now, if they closed Mar-a-Lago, then, and Trump's not going there, then the streets should open up, right? So that's kind of where they're going with it. That's their idea here. The lesson to be learned is the Ace of Pentacles. Money is going to talk at the end of this. And I guess who has more sway? The local business owners, the residents of Palm Beach, or is it going to be Donald Trump and his ilk going to Mar-a-Lago? Outcome is the Nine of Swords. I don't think this is Donald Trump losing sleep. I think this is the city council and the mayor losing sleep over this. Yeah, they're going to be out in the cold. They're in a difficult position. I imagine they're getting a lot of pressure from the residents of the town who want something to change, but it's kind of an irresistible force versus an immovable object. Are you going to be able to get Donald Trump out of there? So my follow-up question would be, what would be their best approach to allow for the main road to be open? I guess before, the main road, that road, South Ocean Beach, could be closed. South Ocean Beach Boulevard would be closed, but only when Trump was there. So can they get that? Is that the approach that they should be trying to take to help the residents out there? Now, mind you, they did that before because there were no assassination threats. Now, the Secret Service is under all sorts of scrutiny, so you can imagine they're not going to be very flexible because they've been embarrassed, they've been humiliated, and the natural reaction is to overreact, clamp down things even tighter under control because the political nature of things, the optics. Can you imagine if somebody a sniper takes a shot at Trump on Mar-a-Lago and they didn't have Ocean Beach Boulevard closed there? It's going to be, they're just going to get crucified again. So what's the best way to get around this problem? Eight of Swords. There may be no way to get around this problem. Well, first off, don't be a victim. Right now, they're calling themselves victims. So you can't be a victim. I'll only do a 4-quarter on this one. There's that 5 of coins again. Businesses, Mar-a-Lago's open, but I suspect other businesses are suffering. And it's not even tourist season. Tourist season comes in the wintertime. So you're going to have to do something proactive. Because right now it's inconvenience without the tourists. And the tourists are coming. Got to come up with a plan to move forward. Maybe get some commitments. And maybe those commitments could be that Donald Trump can't come back. They're talking about closing it. Maybe they can do that. You know what the first thought that came to mind was just now, as I said, maybe they could do that? Health department. Get the health department in there to close the place down. Yeah. Send him packing. 6 of Swords. Calming things down. Moving things to, negotiating with that. Okay, so let me follow that up with this. Hey everybody. Will the city of Palm Beach come up with a municipal reason for closing it down? Again, health department moving in, enforcement of the sale of the property and the lease. God, what else could you do to... imagine the city could do some stuff to prevent people from being in there. Rejecting his business license. Something along those lines. Will the city try some maneuver like that in order to to strong arm Trump to not go down there so they can have their city back. Another little four-corner. Let's see. Chariot. There's that chariot again. Got to come up with a plan here. Come up with a plan, get things moving. It's going to take a while to get it done, so get it started now. Two of coins. Flipping. Keeping your balls up in the... juggling the balls up in the air. The pros and cons. Weighing the pros and cons of things. Hoo-wee, the Tower card. You know, bringing things down fast here. The Magician. Okay, yeah, there's going to be some for them to play ball. They need to involve the government. Now, this could be local government coming up with a plan, or this could be a local government working with like the Secret Service. Underneath it all, it's addressing the Secret Service's concern that there's going to be an assassination on Trump. Again, the city can do something about limiting his time there, or trying to get the Secret Service to limit their restrictions. They could get creative with something. Whatever this plan is, it could be very creative. The other thought that came out is, if Donald Trump jumps out of the race, then well, this whole thing goes away, right? I think the city, though, they need to get creative. I don't think they're going to be able to convince the Secret Service that the threat is illusionary to Donald Trump's health. I don't think they'll get with that. But I think they need to get creative with the Secret Service about Mar-a-Lago. Maybe if you could... yeah, I mean, if they shut it down, that's one way to do it. That's a creative way to do it. The other way would be you had like a special road or way to get to Mar-a-Lago. So there's only one way in and one way out. So it's easier to monitor people coming in and out. I don't know how that would work, though. I don't know. But this, again, to me, this is just, it's a double-edged sword that they've got going on here. With this. Okay, so yes or no question. Will they succeed in shutting down Mar-a-Lago? I mean, I think that's why you're all here, right? To see if I'm going to say yes, they're going to shut it down. Ha, 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 ha. Or not. Will they successfully shut down Mar-a-Lago? At least before the election, I should say, huh? Okay, 4 Carter, but let's see what the signifier is. King of Swords. Is that a yes or a no card? Not go either way. It's going to be a harsh decision here. You got the Moon card, Justice card, and the Hangman. Look at all that. They're going to come up with an offer. I think if they try to, it's going to go to the courts. And it's just going to get tied up in the courts. Yeah, if they try to shut down, it's just going to get tied up in the courts. And the courts are going to rule in favor of protecting the former president of the United States. You can't just sacrifice him. You got to protect him. We don't know where the threats are coming from. Yeah, even if they shut the place down, if Donald Trump wanted to go there, he would go to the courts and sue to have his ability to go to his property. So I think regardless of what's going to happen with this, which is not going to be a quick process, which now the question is, will the court system close the property and then they can fight it out in courts if it can be reopened, or will they insist that it stays opened and while they fight it out in courts, and at which point it may not be worth fighting. But it's going to the courts. I'm just not sure what's going to... There's going to be a hard decision that needs to be made with it. It could be the city, that King of Swords is the city being ruthless, saying, you know what? We have the right to shut this down, and we're shutting it down. You don't like it? Sue us. That would be a perfect translation of those cards. The other would be that Donald, the Secret Service says, nope, he's allowed to go there, and you can't shut it down because we're not letting you. So, we will see. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.